4,500 years ago, in the burning desert of Egypt, ancient builders created a monument so massive, so precise, and so strangely engineered that even today it refuses to feel ordinary. The Great Pyramid of Giza is usually described as a tomb, a royal monument for Pharaoh Khufu, one of the most powerful rulers of Egypt's fourth dynasty. Mainstream archaeology has strong reasons for that view. The pyramid was part of a wider funerary landscape connected to kingship, death, ritual, and the afterlife. But here is where the story becomes strange. When most people imagine an ancient Egyptian tomb, they picture painted walls, sacred texts, statues, treasures, and gods guiding the dead into eternity. But the main chambers of the Great Pyramid feel very different. There are no colorful scenes covering the king's chamber or queen's chamber, no grand treasure room, no long religious texts carved across the walls. Instead, the interior feels brutally plain. Narrow passages, massive stone blocks, hidden structural spaces, and strange shafts. It does not feel like a decorated burial space. To some researchers, it feels more like the inside of a machine. But we have to be careful. The pyramid is not completely without writing. High above the king's chamber, inside the relieving chambers, there are quarry marks left by ancient workers. Some include names connected to Khufu, one of the strongest reasons Egyptologists connect the pyramid to him. So the mystery is not that there is no writing anywhere. The mystery is that the main spaces people enter are so silent, empty, and strangely functional. Was the Great Pyramid only built to honor the dead, or was it designed to do something more? Deep inside the structure is the king's chamber, a dark, rectangular room built from massive, red granite blocks transported from Aswan. Granite was strong, prestigious, and worthy of a king. But alternative researchers ask a different question. What if granite was chosen not only for status, but because of how it behaves? Granite contains quartz, and quartz has a real physical property called piezoelectricity. Under certain types of mechanical stress, it can generate a small electrical charge, but static pressure alone does not turn granite into a battery. Heavy stones sitting on quartz do not create a continuous electrical current. So, if the pyramid was interacting with energy, it probably was not doing it in the simple way some internet theories suggest. The more interesting possibility is not electricity first. It is vibration, sound, and resonance. The king's chamber is not just a room, it is a granite cavity buried inside a mountain of limestone. Granite can carry vibration extremely well. A sound made inside that chamber does not simply disappear. It responds. It echoes. It feels alive in stone. This is where the pyramid power plant theory enters the story. One famous version was proposed by Christopher Dunn, an engineer, not an archaeologist. That difference matters. An archaeologist looks at culture, ritual, history, and burial practices. An engineer looks at materials, forces, frequencies, precision, fit, and function. When Dunn looked at the Great Pyramid, he did not see only a tomb. He saw a machine. According to Dunn's theory, the pyramid may have been designed to capture, amplify, and possibly transmit energy, not through wires or modern electronics, but through vibration, resonance, stone, and geometry. In this interpretation, the underground chamber, ascending passage, grand gallery, queen's chamber, and king's chamber become parts of a larger system, a giant acoustic instrument, a mountain of stone tuned to vibration. It sounds like science fiction, and mainstream archaeology entirely rejects the machine hypothesis. But that rejection does not make the theory boring. The same features can be read in two very different ways. To Egyptologists, the granite chambers show strength, protection, and royal prestige. To power plant theorists, they look like resonant masses. To mainstream archaeology, the relieving chambers above the king's chamber are structural engineering. To alternative theorists, those same spaces look like harmonic cavities that could shape vibration. And then there are the shafts. Some channels connected to the king's chamber reach the outside air, but the shafts associated with the queen's chamber stop deep inside the masonry, sealed by small stone doors, some with tiny copper fittings revealed by robotic exploration. Some channels lead out, others lead nowhere, or at least nowhere we can easily explain. To mainstream researchers, the shafts may have had ritual, symbolic, astronomical, or construction-related functions. To alternative theorists, they look like channels designed to guide air, sound, pressure, vibration, maybe energy. And then there is Nikola Tesla. Thousands of years after the pyramids were built, Tesla became obsessed with frequency, vibration, and wireless energy. Tesla believed energy could be transmitted through the earth and the atmosphere. He built giant coils, experimented with resonance, and imagined a world where power could move without wires. There is no evidence that Tesla discovered ancient Egyptian technology, and no proof that he copied anything from the pyramids. But the comparison is powerful because both ideas orbit the same concepts: frequency, resonance, vibration, and energy transmission. Picture the Great Pyramid not as a silent tomb, but as a tuned structure. Outside, desert wind moves across the Giza plateau. Deep below, the earth trembles with frequencies too low for human ears. Inside the chamber, granite responds. The walls hum. The stone carries sound. And for a moment, the most famous pyramid on Earth looks less like a grave and more like an engine with its power switched off. But mystery is not proof. A strange design is not proof. A resonant chamber is not proof. A fascinating theory is still only a theory. There is no accepted physical evidence that the Great Pyramid produced or transmitted electrical energy. No wires, no machines, no inscriptions describing a power system. And the broader context of Giza still strongly supports the funerary interpretation. The pyramid belongs to ancient Egypt, not to a lost electrical civilization. But even if the power plant theory is wrong, the mystery does not disappear. The Great Pyramid is still one of the most extraordinary engineering achievements in human history. It still hides voids, sealed passages, and unanswered questions inside millions of tons of stone. Maybe the real power of the Great Pyramid is not that it gives us answers. Maybe its power is that, after 4,500 years, it still refuses to stop asking questions. Because if this was only a tomb, why does it still feel like it was built to do something?